Hey everybody, this is Fox from Inferno Fox Gaming, and welcome to InfernoCast episode 045. And you, of course, can find us here again on the YouTube channel Inferno Fox Gaming, as well as on the Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. Joining me tonight is my fantastic crew. We have Stormrosesky of the Twitch and YouTube channels Stormrosesky. Storm, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. And there's a new video out today, my top 5 favorite books. Go check it out.
Oh,
Sweet.
awesome. Yeah, definitely love all of your content that you're able to post up and everything. So again, you heard it here first. Stormrosesky YouTube channel, top 5 favorite books. Awesome. And we also have Jamie Owls, 87, my partner and partner in crime. And you can catch her on our monthly series, usually around the beginning of the month, where the games that we are playing. Jamie Owls, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I look forward to continue playing more of the Quarry. I'm definitely having fun with it again. And I look forward to playing either A Plague's Tale or Tormented Souls. I still haven't decided yet, but we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, no worries. You got plenty of time.
I do.
And we also have Jason the 13th of the YouTube channel, Jason the 13th. Thank you so much for joining us.
Not a problem at all.
Any content, live streams, anything like that you got planned?
I need to sit and make some time to record the next chunk. Sitting in front of one of the legendaries from the DLC, and I still haven't caught them because I haven't been able to sit and record.
Dang. Okay, definitely want to make sure you catch Jason the 13th's channel for some fun Pokemon live play and just general gameplay and everything like that. It's a lot of fun. And last and certainly not least, we of course have Simbu Darkfang. He is the host of the SFWF show, which is on Sunday and Wednesday nights on Twitch at 7 p.m. Central, as well as a retired actor at Basement of the Dead. Simbu, thank you so much for joining us. And anything crazy, fun, whatnot that you got coming up on the SFWF?
Oh, let's see. Wednesday, we're finishing up the women's Imagiverse title championship tournament. The former champion had a potential career-ending injury at the SF Homecoming pay-per-view. So we have to have a tournament to decide the new women's champion. Yeah. And there's gonna be some couple other things. Not a whole lot of craziness going on right now. But yeah, Sundays and Wednesdays, SFWF, Scurryface Wrestling Federation. Live on Twitch, Scurryface_official. Be there, because it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it really is. And you got Simbu not only narrating and officiating the matches and everything like that, but he also interacts with the live chat, and there's a lot of really good guys, gals, and everything in between in said chat. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend checking it out when you can. And just a quick shout out and hello to Hillbilly Hardikiss and Astrimedes, who couldn't make it tonight. But you guys will be here in spirit as we try and hurl insults your way that you can't defend yourselves on. So before we jump into our main topic, nice easy pre-discussion topic question for you guys. And Jason the 13th, you're going to be my first victim of this question. Any specific or multiple games that you're looking forward to coming out in the future?
Yeah, I can't think of any that I've got pre-ordered or know of any big ones that are coming out. Just the little ones that are remakes that are Luigi's Mansion 2 would be the best one at the moment that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and I think I keep hearing that 2024 is the year of the backlog, and I think that's part of the reason why.
Hey, if they give us a Metroid Prime 2 remastered, that would be awesome.
That would be a Metroid Prime 2 or Metroid Prime 3 remaster, or
Mhm.
perhaps the oft talked about but never shown Metroid Prime 4. But I'm not holding my breath. I can hope. I can pray.
Yep, exactly.
Speaking of praying, Simbu, what specific game or multiple games are you looking forward to?
Well, Luigi's Mansion 2 remake, remaster, whatever they're calling it. Definitely interested in that. I just have a lot of fun with Luigi's Mansion. I do wish that the second and third games would have been a lot more like the first, and like a flashlight tag / ghost hunt style game versus, more of the actiony, like Ghostbustery style game that
And
they
hope
kind of became.
and hopefully number 2 being on the Switch now will play better than it did on the 3DS.
Yes.
That is sorry, I'm hearing thunder over here. I got my windows open,
Yeah,
so I
it's
gotta keep
supposed to
an eye on
start storming.
that stuff. So if I randomly disappear, I'm going to close windows so my house doesn't get all wet on the inside. The other two, one, targeting a summer release here, I think in the next month or so, is the Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. I'm excited for that one. I had a lot of fun. As you know, I've talked about it at lengths before in other episodes. But it's just that campy B movie horror, just goodness that, if I did a video like Storm Rose, the comfy feel good, comfort food games, that would be one of them. Just because of how just B movie and goofy it is. And then of course, coming at the end of August, if it doesn't get delayed, Ubisoft, I'm looking at you. Star Wars
Outlaws.
Outlaws. There we go. I can't. You can never remember because you got Star Wars Hunters. That's coming out here in a day or so, or just came out. And then you got like Star Wars Bounty Hunters, and then you got Star Wars. There's a ton of, seems like Hunters is synonymous with Star Wars at the moment. So Star Wars Outlaws. I've got that pre-ordered digitally. I'm waiting again. That comes out right around my birthday, so it's kind of like I told my wife, that's my birthday present for me, myself. So don't buy me nothing, woman.
No, that'll be a fun one for you. And I think we were talking late last year about some of your most anticipated games, and even then you had said among them Star Wars Outlaws. So definitely going to be interested once you get it, once we get it and everything. I'll do the normal Simbu review request, and that'll probably be our pre-discussion for that particular podcast segment.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna need a pay raise if you're gonna in advance if you're gonna request that out of me. So
Doubling your pay
I'm thinking
then in advance, doubling it.
at least quadruple my pay as of right now.
No, I 2.22 times. 2.2 times.
2.5.
2.45.
I'll meet you in the middle. 2.47.
7 times.
7 times. Got it.
Sold.
I like it.
Excellent. And Storm, how about you? I'm gonna pick on you next. Any specific or multiple games that you're looking forward to coming out in the future?
Besides Luigi's Mansion 2, there was Killer Clowns from Outer Space came out today. I need to give that a whirl and maybe check that out in previews some more. That was a surprise to me that it was released today. But the one I'm really looking forward to is the Funko Fusion coming out September 13th. It's going to combine all the worlds of the Funkos, maybe not all of them, but a lot of from TV shows and movies, and you get to play as Funkos and battle royale kind of adventure-y thing with Funkos. So that should be fun, considering I have, I think, over 300 of those stupid things. So I can't wait. I do love me some Funko. And that game will be on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, so you guys can all play, and it'll be cross-platform.
Nice. Yeah, it's one of those things though. Does it kind of make you wonder why they haven't done that sooner?
Yeah, maybe working out whatever, and probably getting all the licensing crap, getting studios to get along in order to write contracts and whatnot. So
And playing
probably that.
ball. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Get all them to get along better than better than they do for us adult. So
Very true. And Jamie Owls, any specific multiple games that you're looking forward to coming out?
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to blank here. I'm trying to think.
Because I know we're waiting for physical edition for the Big Kitty and a Big Little Kitty and Big City.
Yeah,
That just came out digitally, but we want to see if a physical copy of that's coming, and I would imagine it would be.
I guess what I'm looking forward to, I know they've made some announcement and finally showed some gameplay. I'm really looking forward to the Silent Hill 2 game.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was watching it yesterday of the gameplay and it really reminded me of Resident Evil. The like Resident Evil 7 and 8, just with the gameplay. So I'm really looking forward to.
Nice.
Any interest in the Until Dawn remake?
Oh yeah, I'm interested in that as well. Even though I played it before, but just seeing the remake of it, I definitely wanted to check it out and try it.
I do hope that anybody who has the physical copy of Until Dawn or has it digitally will be given the God of War Ragnarok treatment, as well as the Last of Us treatments with the $10 upgrade.
Yeah, I wonder about that because with it being like the Redbox PS4 slash greatest hits editions, you'd wonder if they're really gonna be doing that because you could get Until Dawn the physical copy for like 10 or 20 bucks. I think right now it's on the state of play sale for 20 bucks if memory serves me correct. But again, the other side of that is why not? You know?
Yeah, I mean, look at what was it, Last of Us Part 2 remaster when it just came out. Originally, people were upgrading, buying the PS5 version, and then PlayStation's like, whoa, hold on. They gave like store credit or refunds or something to a bunch of people because they had the PS4 copy of it. So it was, the God of War Ragnarok, $10 upgrade is what they should have been charged.
Yeah, and I think they did that with Horizon or something like that. And I know it was Ghost of Tsushima. They did that for when the PS5 version and then Final Fantasy VII Remake. So yeah, there's definitely a precedent for it. So let's hope that they do that for us Until Dawn fans. Oh, me being a tertiary one, because
Mm,
it's a good game. I know it's a good game. It's just not my taste. But alrighty. Let's actually I didn't answer my question. Love it. Let me answer. What specific game am I looking forward to in the future? I am looking forward to what they are going to announce at the Nintendo Direct because there are going to be some bangers on that, and hopefully it's going to be shown next week. I know that this is a cop-out response, but some of the stuff that I've heard is like the Dragon Quest trilogy finally being showed again, and this is HD 2D. So like I'm really looking forward to that being reshown and officially being announced and other stuff like that. But I'm going to be doing a predictions video with this
mm.
on Thursday, and make sure you check that out when you get a chance. But let us go ahead and move on to the main topic, which is Tetris, because June 6th is World Tetris Day. So, of course, celebrating this fantastic puzzler. And why is it June 6th? Why is that date? Because that is the day that the game released in the USSR, Soviet Union, back in 1984, which means this is going to be the 40th anniversary of this freaking game. I can't believe it. I'm old. I am old, definitely. since its release, it's made its way across the oceans to back during in the 80s, mid 80s during the Cold War to make it big in countries like the US, across a small spit of ocean to make it big in Japan and more, of course. The story itself to Tetris is fascinating, as we saw the original creator, Alexei Pajitnov, create the game and sell it, yet thanks to their schmommunist government, again, can't say the word, don't want to get demonetized, he didn't make any money on his creation since its creation in 1984. But it wasn't until 12 years later when he and then Hank Rogers created the Tetris Company in 96, and the rights fully reverted to him, that he actually started to make money in royalties. I'm going to make a recommendation. There's a 1 hour documentary about the creation of Tetris by the gaming historian. It's like 6 or 7 years old at this point, but it is still top quality. I can't recommend it enough. There's also the Tetris movie by that one kid from the what is it? The Secret Service, not the Secret Service, but the one movie with the Colin Firth and the world leaders' heads blow up in the end. That guy is in it, and it's like overblown, overdrawn drama. But so like I recommend the gaming historian documentary, and that's going to be linked in the description below. So I'm going to open up the floor, starting off with Stormrosesky, and just ask, what was the first version of Tetris that you played or seen, and who the primary person was that you had seen play it or get you into it?
Well, first I want to also mention the Tetris Murders, which is about the murder-suicide of the co-creator of Tetris, that is available on Discovery Plus. And there's a whole shady side once you learn about like what those guys had to go through to get Tetris created, and in our hands, and the fancy footwork that they had to do, and there's a whole bunch of shenanigans associated with that guy. That poor guy's death. But anyway, my first introduction to Tetris was when I, by myself, actually got I first computer from Rena Center, and it had the operating system on it, Geos, and that was one of the games I could play, and just freaking fell in love with it. I got really good at it. Puzzle games are kind of my favorite things, and where I'm sorry, my better half is hammering something. So I was like, what's going on over there? Anyway, so that just derailed me from
So you said that you played it for the
Yes.
first time at the Renaissance
With-
computer.
Yes. And after that, shortly after that and getting good at it, like at Thanksgivings, family members would try to beat my score, and they really, really couldn't. So it was just a basic, using the number keypad to move the little blocks, and now I'm not playing it on computer anymore. I've lost the muscle memory for which keys you used to press. So, but the arrows and using the L key, and some of them I don't remember what we hit for hold, or if there was a hold. There was a hold, and I don't remember what it was. But yeah, I just spent hours just playing that. I mean, besides being one of the only things besides the Minesweeper, or Solitaire, Tetris really just sucked me in, and I could play it for hours, and probably still could play it for hours, as exhibited by using Tetris 99 if there weren't other shiny things on my Switch.
And I've seen your numbers for Tetris 99, and you've played that particular entry of Tetris probably as much as I have, I think, or maybe you played it more. I'm trying to remember.
Maybe a little bit more, but you have definitely won more of them than I have, for sure. I think I've won once.
But you've won a lot more than me on Pac-Man 99.
Yes, I have.
That's
I've
the
won
important
3 or
thing.
4. I've won 3 or 4 of those, which, to take out 99 people on anything is just, it's fun. But especially those games in Tetris at the end when everything is going faster, and anyway.
Nice. Yeah, it definitely gets to be pretty hectic, especially if there's only like 6 people left and you're one of the 6, and all 5 of the people target you for some reason. Jerks.
Yes, and you get extra bricks and your layout gets messed up and you slightly if you hit one stupid wrong button, it's all messed up.
Yep. Because at that point, like it doesn't allow for any mistakes. Like
Right.
if there's any less than 20 people, you make one mistake, you know you're not going to win, or it's tough to come back from that.
Yep. And as soon as you see that piece fall, and you're like, well, shit, I'm done now.
Jason the 13th, I want to ask you as well. Like, what was the first version of Tetris that you'd ever played or seen? And were you the primary person to play it or was someone else?
All right, then unlike Storm there, mine was Nintendo. Now, I don't remember as being that young. Who decided to get it? Whether my dad picked it up or or just in general, but I do know my brothers played it a little bit, but me and my mom were the main people playing it, and I liked Tetris so much that when I got my Game Boy and it was all my stuff, I had the Tetris on Game Boy as well. But yep, and Nintendo NES. That was the start of Tetris for me.
Nice. Yeah, same thing for me as well. It was the NES version that was my introduction to it. Around that time, I know the Game Boy one released, and so we got that as well. And it was actually I remember it was my oldest brother and then our mother that got us into it. And they would often compete with one another, and I think I was like 6 or 7. I didn't quite have the spatial capabilities that were needed to be able to play the game effectively. So I'd be all happy if I can make it to like level 7 or level 8, but starting at 0. Far cry from how I am now with it, but
Oh,
regardless of that, like it was always fun to see them trying to compete for score and
yep.
and whatnot. So, um, Jamie Owls, how about you? I just want to see the first version of Tetris you've ever played or seen, and if you were the primary person to play it, or if there's someone else in your household that might have.
I'll be honest. I think when I was a kid, I played it. I can't recall, but the earliest that I remember when you and I were playing on a version on the PlayStation. I can't remember exactly what that version was called, but you and I used to play together. And I got into the Tetris Exodus for the 3DS.
Oh yeah,
That
the
was
Tetris Axis, I think.
Axis, yes, thank you. That was the one that I vividly remember playing more, and I got hooked on that.
Nice, very cool. Yeah, that's a decent version. I don't have a lot of experience with that, but yeah, I think the one we did was back when I had the PS3 hooked up. I think it was like Tetris
Mm-hmm.
Ultra or something like that.
Yeah.
But Simbu, how about you? What was the first version of Tetris you'd ever played or seen? Were you the primary person to play it, or was there someone else?
So back in grade school or elementary school, depending on whether you're a public school or private school. I don't know why they changed. I mean, there's a difference to it, but we had a NES system in the extended care room. Now, the extended care room is kind of like the before or after school daycare that you see now, except at at the private school I went to, it was in in the school. Like bus came to pick us up and take us to like a La Petite Academy or something like that. So we had two NESs, which one of them ended up getting upgraded to a Super NES at one point. But I digress. One of the NES games was Tetris. I saw somebody, one of the other kids playing it during their, TV time we had to sign up for. But the one, it wasn't Tetris itself, it was a clone. But the one I remember really playing a lot of was on the TI-89. We had found a bunch of, cheap cheesy games like, there was Blockman, which was, basically Super Mario. the original Mario Bros game. We had some other stuff, but one of the games we found was a Tetris-like clone. So I remember spending a lot of time in high school playing Tetris on the TI-89 along with the other games.
Nice. Yeah, see, for the young millennials and Gen Zers, you want to talk about the Riz. The Riz was the fact that we didn't have the little mobile phones to do the games and whatnot. We had to play on our little crappy calculators but we made do, and we had to walk 7 miles in the snow uphill both ways. And yeah, no, it was seriously though, those kind of games, it was fun to have that on, like because I think I had a TI-86. It couldn't do Blockman, but it could do Tetris, or the Tetris clone. It was nice to be able to have that escape uh, some
Boredom at school.
really boring classes. But one of the things that kind of following up on that, kind of ask you guys. And Simba, I don't know how much Tetris that you played since then. Was there a favorite version of Tetris that you've enjoyed playing the most? Would you say the TI-89 one was, or?
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the TI-89 one just because it was probably one of my fondest. The TI-89 games were probably one of my fondest memories from high school. Especially when we got into the text-based, got into a text-based D&D style one that I had found, and that was so much fun. But yeah, I don't really, I'm not big in Tetris. I do enjoy puzzle games, but just Tetris isn't my jam.
Gotcha. No worries. And this was actually something Storm and I talked about on a video about a year ago or so. We had a whole conversation about Tetris while her and I played the Game Boy version via the Nintendo Switch's NSO service. And I don't really have a lot of fond memories for the Game Boy one, surprisingly. I mean, it was a pack-in title for the original OG, so it's probably the most selling copy on the most selling Game Boy game on the on the Game Boy that isn't named Pokemon. So
I bet I know the reason behind that.
yes.
That's because, just like me, loved playing on the NES because you like that. You competed on high scores, but once you had it on Game Boy, yeah, I bought it because I loved Tetris on the NES, but there was nobody competing because I was the only one playing my Game Boy. So
And
you're
and
only
Tetris
competing against your own score.
and Tetris on the NES, and this, between the two, this was the one that had the multiplayer capabilities. But good
Yeah,
luck
I know.
finding another person with a Game Boy and the
Yep.
cartridge and a link cable and who liked Tetris. It was like a losing proposition all the way around, at least for me.
Mhm.
So Jason, while I got you, would you say the NES one's your favorite version of Tetris?
Ooh, now are we including any clone games, or is this just Tetris itself?
Just Tetris
Then yes, the
itself.
NES was better.
Because we're not quite talking about spin-offs yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, but we will be.
All right. So yes, NES was the best one for me then.
And I love the colors on it too. Like the one of the newer versions of Tetris Effect, has a couple modes that clone the colors and almost the gameplay to it very closely. It's actually pretty cool. Jamie Owls, how about you? Would you say the Tetris that you and I played together on the PS3 is your favorite, or the Tetris Axis, or what are your thoughts?
Since I don't really play Tetris as much, I would have to say that the one for the 3DS would be my favorite. I've seen you play different versions that look really cool, especially the Nintendo version where they have the Mario RPG layout, and I think there was another one for oh, what's the other name? Pac-Man or something. I could be wrong, but some of those, and there was another one called Galaxy that came out last year or 2 years ago where it has that pretty background, like
Oh yeah,
stars.
yeah. It's like a star theme.
Yeah, like that looks really pretty, and I can imagine that being too distracting because I'll be more focused on looking at the pretty stars versus what I'm trying to do.
No, that,
So
that makes sense.
I'll definitely, try it one day. It's just, lots of video games I want to try playing first.
Yeah, and I mean, Tetris 99 is free with the NSO service that
Hmm.
we've got you signed up on. So at any time you could always play it.
Yeah.
But Storm, I know we were kind of cutting through the tree hole here because I sort of left this question last on that one video I mentioned, but let's hit it first. What is the favorite version of Tetris that you've played?
My favorite version is going to be Tetris 99.
Nice.
Honestly. It I will talk about the spin-offs later because Tetris Effect is in there. And that is just by far the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful Tetris games. But Tetris 99 for its basic simplicity, you're just battling against 99 people, or there's the one-on-one versus computer, blah blah blah. So um but if I wanted, that's the current Tetris. The old computer Tetris will always have a place, warm little sleeping bag in my heart for it, but I do enjoy Tetris 99. I'm not a fan of Tetris on the mobile phone that I've tried,
Hmm.
and I'm just not great on some games using controls on for mobile devices. And that's why I don't do Fortnite mobile. That would just be horrible and I'd throw my phone. So we'll yeah, Tetris 99 for what it is. And I like once in a while when they have the contests and you get the different skins so you can change your backgrounds and whatnot and the music. And one of my favorite ones is for the Metroid that they had not too
Oh,
long
nice.
ago.
I'm kind of surprised to hear that. My favorite so far probably is the Mario RPG one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like the music of that one better,
Yep.
the Metroid one. So
Yeah, I wish you could mix and match where you could have the music from one and then the backgrounds or aesthetics to the other. But
me too.
I think the last time I created my top 10 Tetris ports, where I ranked all my favorite Tetris games, there was 58 different ports or versions of Tetris in the 40 years that it's been released. My within the top 10 itself, you can check out the video itself that I released. We'll put it in the link of the description below. But yeah, Tetris Effect is up there. Obviously Tetris 99, but Tetris DS as well. And I'd only started playing that when I was going through and playing all these different versions of Tetris that maybe I hadn't tried before. And I'm really pissed at myself for not picking this game up when I originally had a DS because the Tetris DS is so good. It's one of the best versions of Tetris I've played. And I think it was one of the first times they added the hold option to pieces where you could hit the L button and it just keeps it as a hold. And you can always retrieve it at any time that you want. Um, it makes the game a little bit like easier or more palatable and approachable, but it's very helpful. And that among all the Nintendo themes that it's got, definitely a ton of fun. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely one of the best. But Storm, you had briefly mentioned about spin-offs, and we're going to go ahead and discuss that, like the various number of spin-offs, and this is stuff like Dr. Mario and like Tetris Attack to spiritual sequels like um shoot I can't even think of like any spiritual sequels. I think maybe the cat was out of the bag with Tetris Attack because even that became its own series, Planet Puzzle League, and even direct sequels like Tetris 2. And I'll ask you guys what if you've played any of these other puzzle games and what are your favorites, and don't feel like you have to limit it to a Tetris spin-off sequel or direct sequel. If there's a fun puzzle game that you like, let us know. Uh, Jason the 13th, what are some or many of your favorites puzzle games?
Well, I got two that you, of course, you didn't touch upon there, but one that you did touch upon. So in number 3 slot, Dr. Mario was always a fun one to play. But in number 2 spot was Tricky Towers.
Oh, that is so
I
good.
remember playing that when it came out, and it was so fun to play against other people on that one. Where everyone's got their a tower. There's no like you're kind of in a box like in Tetris, but they didn't really have a box as in you're going. You have a tower, and if you build it the wrong way, your
It's like
tower crumbled.
it's like a
Yep.
combination of Tetris and Jenga.
Yes, that was a very fun one. But my favorite Tetris clone was Super Puzzle Fighter, where you were the Street
Ooh.
Fighters and Darkstalker characters, and it played like Dr. Mario or anything where as you clear blocks, you send blocks to your other opponent. But as you're doing it, your characters did battles in the background, and you had to fight each other and beat each other. That's my favorite one.
Dude, I got that for my Street Fighter 2 arcade here in the game room. That's
nice.
one
I did not
14
know that
game.
was on there.
we definitely gotta play that because I have like
Yes.
no experience
Yes.
playing it, and you can kick my butt at a puzzle game.
That'll be awesome. But yep, it was my favorite one because of that fact that you had the fighting game aspect in mixed with it.
Nice. I love it. That's it. That's good. Jamie Owls, how about you? Do you have a favorite Tetris spin-off, spiritual sequel, direct sequel, or any puzzle game that is one of your favorites?
There is a game, it's a puzzle game, and it's just called Yoshi. It's where Mario looks like he's holding plates, and as the little items fall, it looks like you got the ghost, the Goomba, and then you have to like match it. I like that one. I guess another puzzle type game would probably be Bomberman, is figuring out where to put like the little bombs to clear paths and without trying to hit you. Uh, there's a couple of other ones. Or the bubble game with the little dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah, the Bubble Bobble.
Yeah, Bubble Bobble.
That was an awesome game.
or even they made a puzzle version of that, Puzzle Bobble. I think that's they also called it Bust a Move, where you have to like take an angle thing like this.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and it's lowering and lowering, and you got to keep clearing things. Yeah.
Nice.
I remember that.
Now, one of my favorites is, of course, I like Dr. Mario. Tetris Attack is like way up there. That's one of my favorites. I'm not going to steal the thunder from one of our other speakers here. But I will mention Wario's Woods for the Super Nintendo. I do not like the NES version because there's like kicks and everything that you use to like kick the blocks and everything. And I didn't really, you have to use like specific button combination with the 2 buttons that you have for the NES controller, but the 6 buttons that you have with the Super Nintendo, plus the better quality sounding music and graphics, it was really the Super Nintendo version that was really like the best. Simbu, how about you? Do you have a favorite like Tetris like puzzle game, spin-off, sequel, direct, or not even related?
The only thing I can think of would be Disney's Tsum Tsums.
Disney
That
Tsum
is
Tsums.
like a Bejeweled, Candy Crush sort of puzzler. It's the match, minimum of 3. But as anybody knows, I love Disney, so it's the only one I'm really gonna really got a leg to stand on here with this, guys. I'm not big in the swipey, changey, games like that.
No worries. And speaking of swipey changey, unless I've totally missed the boat, Storm, what is your favorite Tetris spin-off, spiritual sequel, or direct sequel?
All right. Well, there's Tetris Effect and Tetris Attack is going to be one of my favorites. In fact, probably like one of the few good memories I have with my mother-in-law is playing Tetris Attack for hours and whatnot. So She is the one who introduced me to that game. And I do enjoy it, and I am glad that the original version of that game, before they put Yoshi on it and over here for American audiences, is
Mhm.
available on the Nintendo Online service for the Super Nintendo. So I've gotten to play that a couple of times, and I still do quite enjoy it, even though I don't know what the dialogue is saying because it is in Japanese, but that's okay. And
Yeah.
I know the general gist of the game. One of my favorite games, thanks to Tetris, that wonderful puzzler, we've gotten a world of puzzlers that it's inspired, like Bejeweled. Bejeweled has been on every device I know that my father-in-law, has owned. Once he has fallen, he played that once, long, long ago, and then ever since then just loves it. But my favorite is Simba. If you've not played this one, you should try it out. The Disney Emoji Blitz. It's the same kind of thing. You're matching 3 or 4 of their faces and whatnot, and it's fun. That is one that I do play daily. They have little daily missions, and it's a quick, time waste that is still kind of like Tetris, but not quite Tetris. So
Nice.
I think the emoji blitz is what the Sum. I think the emoji blitz is kind of what the Sum Sum thing became.
yes, yep. I and the difference is, like, the emoji blitz is only on mobile devices, so it's not a console thing, where the Zoom Zoom is console, so at least you can play it on other things. So
Okay. Nice. Yeah, and the available on the Nintendo Switch NSO is the Tetris Attack Japanese version, the original called Panel de Pan. And it features a whole bunch of fairies doing fairy things, fairy characters. But again, it's that Tetris Attack gameplay, and it's definitely a great time. Storm, you and I definitely need to do like a live cast sort of playthrough and just kind of live cast us playing that together. When you
yes, we do.
when you mentioned your mother-in-law, my mother, one of the rules when we had to play that during like score attack, they have a the ability to do like a handicap, and she always got a 10,000 point handicap, and that actually made it competitive because I could do the chains to rack up points. She could only do the matching of like the 3 or 4 or 5 colors at the same time. But it was still fun when it was um when it was still a thing. So
Mhm.
but yeah, moving on to the benefits of playing Tetris and all these puzzlers, because of course, playing these games have a number of health benefits, up to and including improvements in critical thinking, reasoning, language, and processing speed. And it's also been known to help with conditions such as depression and PTSD. Conversely, playing Tetris too much sometimes causes players to see blocks everywhere and imagining lines and whatnot that can fall in certain places to clear where these blocks are at. And the name of that seeing the Tetris blocks literally is called the Tetris effect, hence the name of the PS4, Switch, what have you, game. And I just want to see, like, with you guys, have you and Storm, I'll kind of start with you because I know that you've probably played Tetris the most out of all of us, maybe save myself. Would you say Tetris you've seen a lot of the benefits from playing Tetris? Um, have you had the Tetris effect before? Kind of get your thoughts on that.
You know, the as far as the Tetris affected, I'll compare it to what like playing Rock Band or Guitar Hero does to me, when you're staring at the screen for a while and you
Hmm.
look away and everything seems like it's moving down or what with the screen. That's what would happen with the bricks. Like, if you just looked away for a moment, I could still see the patterns falling. So I totally get it. Especially staring at it on a smaller computer screen and then looking away. It was, adjustment for the eyes that not everything is falling. It's definitely a benefit. The playing any type the Tetris, it's almost a non-brainer, even though you have to use your brain. It's a different part of the brain that is not requiring a whole lot of thought. It allows me to turn off everything and focus on that. And I think for an ADHD brain, Tetris is great for helping you shut off everything else because you need to focus on this one little moving part. So it seems brainless, but it's not quite brainless because it's shutting off in that moment other little voices that are going, do this, do this, do this, because you're watching patterns and stuff, and it requires a certain intense focus that some of your brain likes or really needs. So and it's a cozy comfort game. Just it's good at relieving stress, or maybe if you play Tetris 99. No, it's not, but
I was gonna say
that's a little bit more stressful, but just kind of gush on it because it's like my love for Pac-Man. I just love it just because, and it's hard to find something wrong with it. Maybe it didn't help carpal tunnel back then, but but still, just doesn't, I want to say it makes me happy, but it is just a good place to, like, if I want a game to just tune out for a little bit, I will still play Tetris 99 and not worry about anything because I don't have to really be social. Not that being social is a problem, but there's some days after work, teaching all day, I don't want to talk to anyone. It's
Leave me
nothing
alone.
against, yes, it's nothing against the other humans that I play games with. They're just like, nope, I don't have it in me to be social. So playing that real quick, you can tune out and not really worry about anything. And Tetris Effect is great for that with the music. The music to that game is awesome, and playing it with your headphones on can just tune out the world, and that is what I like.
And I wonder how bad Tetris Effect would be in its original mode it was intended, VR, where you literally are tuned out of the world because it's just Tetris in your face and in your ear.
Oh, that'd actually be fun to play.
Yeah,
the VR version of it.
I would try it. I've tried 2 VR games and they were okay, but I would definitely give Tetris a whirl. That would be very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't. It's funny. It's Tetris Effect is compatible with the PSVR 1. It is not compatible with the PSVR 2, at least not yet, or not as of my latest news that I'm following. Which I'm not saying I'm following PSVR 2 news very much. So if the only thing that I know with PSVR 2 is that now Sony's releasing an adapter to make it PC compatible for $60, which is great because you could I've heard the PSVR 2 hardware actually is quite excellent, competitive with the MetaQuest 3. See, I do know a little bit about VR, but I've yet to use it. I want to use it, but like I'd have to borrow somebody's, but to borrow somebody's, I'd have to have somebody else's face stuff on my face. And I'm a bit of these guys here know I'm a bit of a germaphobe, and I don't know if I could do that, but I'm not going to buy a VR set without trying it first. And you see it's the Ouroboros, the snake eating the snake. I can't.
So what Inferno is saying is one of us needs to buy a VR set and let him borrow it before we use it.
Oh God,
Exactly.
that's not fair. Then I'm going to be like, no, I really don't want you to do that.
It's just the idea of having that face mask.
It's called use an alcohol wipe on it first.
It's
That's true.
I don't know, the whole idea of putting something on my face where someone else uses it. It's like your nose covered it, and I don't know if people have especially sinus issues going on now. Heck no.
My whole thing though, one big reason to get PSVR 2 is you, Jamie Owls, and getting you to play like Resident Evil 4 VR or 8 VR.
Yeah, I'll run out the patio window.
And then like you're like entrenched in something, and all of a sudden I just grab your shoulder and
I've played a little bit of VR that includes Five Nights at Freddy's, so I know how that one
Oh,
works.
gosh.
Ooh.
I think RE7 would be the better RE for her to play VR.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, because that one is more scare intensive versus the action intensive with 8. Oh my gosh. So Storm and kind of you guys feel free to let me know. So with the most recent versions of Tetris, of course, as I said, was the VR Tetris Effect, Puyo Puyo Tetris, and Tetris 99. And I was going to ask you guys where we go from here. What could the next new iteration be? Before I ask that, or Storm, let me ask you that, but let me also ask you, did you play Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 and 2 for the Switch?
No, I have not.
Do you
I-
like the jelly? You got to match the 4 little jellies, and they fall down and they spin. Do you like Puyo Puyo at all? The Genesis version of that would be Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
I've never played it.
Okay.
So, but I don't, I probably wouldn't mind it. I just not played it at all. So I know it came out and then I don't know other things. You know how that happened, so yeah. I would play it, but I have not yet.
Yeah, and I know they have it's a Sega game, so they go on sale all the flipping time. I don't want to pollute your opinion on it, but I've got thoughts about the Puyo Puyo Tetris series on the Switch, and there's a reason why they didn't crack my top 10 of Tetris sports. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Where I think they could go from in the future, I don't know. Maybe the
Mhm.
Tetris VR, but or just do a classic Tetris for the consoles, and then but there's Tetris.
So I
Right.
don't know all of the newer Tetrises. Have they done like a 3D one yet?
Yes. Yep, that was one
Okay,
of the
so
ones.
they have done a 3D one.
I remember playing that. It actually was a spiritual sequel created by Alexei Pejidnov. I think after he tried Tetris 2, he tried Tetris 3D, and it wasn't on a main system. I remember it was on MS-DOS, and I'm aging
Oh
myself
wow.
there. And
Maybe a new version of that then.
yeah, I'm wondering if he'd do it because that version was awful. Just like Tetris 2. Tetris 2 was not great. It was not great.
And maybe they could make it because Tetris 99, from what I know, it's not cross-platform or anything, right?
Correct.
So maybe if they made a Tetris game for the consoles that are cross-platform, and I would really like to see how a Tetris 99 would look on a more powerful system than just the Switch, but beggars can't be choosers, so I don't know where they could go from here. The VR thing sounds neat, but it's such a basic classic game that I don't know what you could do to it, and it would just get annoying because it's already kind of perfect. Why try to
Reinvent the wheel.
Because
exactly.
everyone tries to reinvent everything.
Oh God, I know. I won't even get started on the amount of remake movies. They just need new writers in Hollywood.
Yep.
Oh my God, there's going to be a new Mrs. Doubtfire, and I've had enough. Just
boy.
stop. Just stop. All right, anyway.
Really?
You know, one
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Simbu, go ahead.
You know, one thing I'm kind of surprised on, and I don't know how many of you peruse the Japanese side of YouTube, but all the Japanese game shows, I'm surprised there is not a Tetris game on those, like a Tetris-esque game on those, where they have all the weird, goofy games where they have to run up, they have the Indiana Jones boulders coming at them and stuff like that. I'm surprised they don't have like a bungee jump game where that would be Tetris kind of style where, they have the blocks all set up and these, you handed a block and they have to, bungee down, drop the block, and then get bungeed back up, get the next block, drop it in, and
That would be
I'm
funny.
like, again, with all the weird stuff that prank shows and game shows over in Japan. If you haven't checked any of this stuff out, I highly recommend it if you want an amazing time of cracking up. because they're so entertaining. But yeah, I'm surprised they don't have something like a live Tetris, like a real life Tetris.
I kind of love that idea, and I know that they've got Tetris like board game, and it's not necessarily like a board game. It's more like trying to think of this one Polish game where it's you have the Tetris shapes and you connect them by the corners. It's kind of like that, except you are using pieces on like a physical map. But I love the idea of it being like an actual physical Tetris thing, except let's go the whole 9 yards. To clear the lines, you have to toss the blocks, and it's a thing of lava because the lava will eat the actual blocks and everything like that. But you got to be careful on the bungee because you might bungee down too far and the lava might eat you up.
Just like floor is lava.
Yep,
Yep.
the floor is lava. Or maybe that might not be feasible. Acid. The floor is acid. The acid's gonna. No, that would be fun. And especially with all the Ninja Warrior bow jazz that we got here in the States, which that actually is a dude. I wish when like 20 years ago we had that stuff when I was actually like young and in shape. Like I would have totally done that, even if I would have fallen on slipped and fell and landed on my hip or my side and looked like a fool. As a 20-year-old, that would have been fun to try.
No, all we had was MXC, most extreme challenge.
Yeah.
back in those days.
And I think we had the ridiculousness stuff, not the show, because the to get the 500 episodes that MTV shows for 1/3 of the entire day every day, you had to have film footage. That was us. I think that was our age.
Hey,
So-
at least it's not reality TV. The annoying reality TV like Real World and Jersey Shore. At least, hey, I'll take 1/3 of the day of watching people doing stupid stuff.
GTL, I don't know. I that one blonde girl's laugh from ridiculousness. I can't. It's a sound. I don't know what's more annoying, the cicadas outside or that laugh. Oh, oh, grating. Oh my gosh. So we have managed to run the gambit from a USSR export to the dolphin-like laugh of ridiculousness. So here at the Inferno cast, we are gaming. But yeah,
One real quick thing, Inferno, Fox, you may be able to look this up real fast. Didn't the Rubik's Cube come out of Russia?
I don't know.
I'm good at Google.
So I said one of you, because I'm on my phone, and I don't have my Chromebook up, so I can't look anything up. Otherwise, I'll pop out.
I know that Will Smith had a bit that he used where he could solve it so quickly and everything, and he used that in Fresh Prince and the awful movie Pursuit of Happiness. That's like 99% depression, 1% like uplift.
Oh yeah.
And it was found out later that he wasn't actually solving it. He just memorized the exact movements that needed to be done with a store-bought copy of the Rubik's Cube to be able to finish it so quickly.
Huh.
It was made it Hungary.
Hungary.
Interesting. So there you go. That's another Eastern European puzzle type platform. So very nice. And on that note, I think we're going to call our.
Actually, let me
Jason 13, what you got?
intervene for a second. So you were asking about health benefits and stuff. I don't know about any health benefits, but anyone else ever see somebody pack their car or pack something and you're going, that's a horrible job, let me do it, and you pack it like 10 times better, and they're like, how'd you pack everything in there? And you're like, I played a lot of Tetris when I was young.
Yes.
Anyone else have that happen? Because
So
I have
Simpsons
that happen a
Yes.
lot.
Simpsons did it.
I am
I-
good at Tetrising stuff.
Yep.
And when we just had our movers, I told them, wow, you guys did a really great job at Tetrising that truck.
Yes.
But yes.
Uh-huh.
To say, I think Jonathan and I did that when our buddy Billy moved from Wheaton, because he started packing the truck, I think with Mobster, And Jonathan and I just kind of said, "Get out of the way, you guys."
And we did it.
Yeah, I remember that. I
So
it was a good thing that you two did
playing
that.
a lot of Tetris does help me pack more stuff into vehicles and stuff like that. Does that count for a health benefit?
Absolutely, and I like to think that my weekly ability to fit all the groceries in the shopping cart in the trunk is thanks to my Tetris ability. Never mind the fact that Jamie Owls has no problem whatsoever doing anything like that. And whenever I commend my Tetris ability, she just rolls her eyes and moves on. So, you know.
Had to throw that one out there.
No, that's a good one. I credit my ability to make a budget and follow it thanks to my years of playing Final Fantasy as a kid. So you can see with all the video game stuff around here how well that worked out. So yeah.
It didn't.
Spoiler alert, it didn't. Oh gosh. But alrighty, yeah, I think that is our Tetris. Storm and I especially, like we had mentioned, we have a special place in our hearts for this fantastic puzzler. Gosh, I've been playing it for like 33 years or something like that. A crazy amount, and it's definitely something that we'll probably always play. I don't know what's going to be next after Tetris 99 or Tetris Effect, but something's going to be coming. After all, I think EA has a license, and they're not the ones to sit on their laurels. If anything, a game will come out and it'll have microtransactions. So there you go. But a huge thanks to everyone for joining us here on the Inferno Cast for this episode. Gentle reminder, we're off next week. I've got a meeting on Tuesday, and we also have the craziness that will be the Nintendo Direct, the Xbox showcase. I think Capcom's going to be having something. There's a Ubisoft forward. This is going to, starting this weekend, it's going to be a very busy weekend for video games, and beyond the InfernoCast being unavailable on Tuesday, we'll definitely do our best to cover it. So make sure you click and subscribe to Inferno Fox Gaming and check out everyone's pages in the description below. So once again, thank you everybody for joining us, and hope you guys have a good one.